some people believe that there is practically nothing left unexplored on our planet. However, this is not true. Scientists and ordinary people very often discover things that have been hidden from our eyes for many years, and these discoveries are often incredibly valuable and even unique. In this video, I invite you to learn about findings made during droughts, as well as during cleaning operations in bodies of water. Enjoy watching. The Lima River flows through Spain and Portugal. Its total length is 137 kilometers and its basin area is over 2,500 square kilometers. In 2022, during severe droughts in Europe, the Lima River became significantly shallow, revealing the previously submerged ruins of the ancient Roman camp Aqua Quana. This military camp was built around 75 AD during the reign of Emperor Vespasian and was actively used for more than 60 years. Located on the picturesque banks of the Lima River, the fort played a strategic role in the Roman army and served as home to the 7th Legion Gemina. The extensive camp area housed all necessary military and administrative buildings, infirmaries, and even a temple. Today, Aqua Quana is an important historical monument that not only illustrates the Roman presence in Galicia, but also serves as evidence of the high achievements of ancient architecture and military construction. Moreover, the camp is interesting because it appears above the water surface only during severe droughts, making its ruins a rare sight. Blenine Palace is a magnificent palace and park complex located in the English county of Oxfordshire. It was built in the early 18th century in the Baroque style for the first Duke of Marlborough in honor of his victory over the French army. It was in this palace that the British statesman Winston Churchill was born on November 30th, 1874. The beauty of the palace and park ensemble is impressive. The main facade of the palace, adorned with ceramic details and majestic columns, faces a park immersed in greenery. The layout of the park is organized with attention to natural forms and landscape features. One of the key features of the park is the Long Lake, which gives the place a particularly picturesque appearance. In 2018, cleaning operations were carried out on this pond and the reservoir was drained. During this operation, a stunning discovery was made. It turned out that 30 previously unknown rooms were hidden at the bottom of the lake. These rooms had been submerged back in the 1760s when the 4th Duke of Marlborough decided to transform the territory and create an artificial reservoir. During the study of the submerged rooms, scientists found unique items, inscriptions made in the 1760s, sunken boats, original 18th century plaster, as well as historic staircases and passages. This discovery came as a complete surprise, although it is quite possible that the 12th Duke of Marlborough, who currently lives with his family in the eastern wing of the palace, knew about the existence of these submerged rooms. The Danube River is the second largest river in Europe, second only to the Volga. Its length is 2,860 kilometers, and its basin area is 817,000 square kilometers. In addition, the Danube passes through 10 European countries, including Romania and Serbia. During World War II, the Danube became a key transport artery for the Axis forces. The river was used for military transportation necessary to supply the troops on the Eastern Front. For this reason, various munitions and military equipment from World War II are sometimes found at the bottom of the Danube. In 2022, many European countries experienced abnormal heat, which led to drought. Water levels in many bodies of water dropped significantly, and the Danube River was no exception. In Prahovo, Serbia, the water level in the Danube dropped so much that it exposed the remains of 20 German Third Reich warships that were sunk in 1944 during the retreat of the German Black Sea Fleet under the onslaught of Soviet troops. There is a serious threat hidden in this discovery because the ships still contain munitions which may pose a danger both to navigation in the area and to local residents. Of course, the shipwrecks need to be removed, but this will require about 29 million euros. The drop in the Danube's water level made it partially unsuitable for navigation. Moreover, in the Prahovo area, the navigable section narrowed from 180 meters to just 100 meters because of the remains of the German ships. Anthrax is a very dangerous disease. The pathogen of this disease is highly resistant to extreme temperatures and can adapt to almost any natural conditions. Moreover, these bacteria are capable of remaining dormant for many decades. In the modern world, anthrax occurs much less frequently than during its epidemic periods, but this fact does not eliminate the danger of the disease. For this reason, any discovery of the virus is strictly controlled. In 2001, an unusual and very dangerous incident involving anthrax occurred in a national park in Maryland. The Federal Bureau of Investigation launched a search for dangerous biological weapons, anthrax strains that could be located in one of the park's ponds. But how could they have gotten there? According to available information, it all began when the FBI received confidential information that a former employee of the Fort Detrick Military Laboratory named Stephen Hatfill might have deliberately dumped contaminated equipment directly into the pond's waters. Considering that during his work, Hatfill lived near this very park, the theory seemed quite plausible. Despite these accusations, a Fort Detrick Laboratory employee named Pat Clausen categorically denied all accusations and defended his colleague. This was not surprising, since the FBI had no evidence to accuse the scientist of involvement in the crime. Following this unverified information, several lakes in the park were closed. But surprisingly, all details about the further investigation were never made public. Dinosaur Valley is a unique natural park located in Somervell County, Texas. The reserve covers an area of more than 600 hectares in the upper reaches of the Paluxy River, a few kilometers from the town of Glen Rose. The park's history began in 1968 when the territory was purchased from private owners under a state park development program. The reserve was opened to visitors in 1972 and immediately became a popular place among locals and tourists. The name of the park speaks for itself. Dinosaurs once lived in this area, and their ancient tracks have been preserved in the sedimentary rocks. In Dinosaur Valley, there are layers of limestone, sandstone, and argillite that formed about 113 million years ago. During this period, an ancient sea was located here. The waters of the river gradually erode the rocks, revealing more and more imprints of ancient creatures. In 2023, there was a severe drought in Texas. This has led to a significant shallowing of the Paluxy River, resulting in the discovery of new dinosaur tracks at the bottom. Most of them were left by the theropod Acrocanthosaurus, which inhabited modern North America during the early Cretaceous period. These theropods were carnivorous dinosaurs that moved on two hind legs. Their bodies reached up to 12 meters in length, and they could weigh up to 7 tons. The length of their tracks averages 45 centimeters. The second set of new tracks, measuring up to 90 centimeters, most likely belong to a Sauroposeidon. These giants reached up to 34 meters in length, with their necks alone measuring over 11 meters. The drought provided park visitors with a unique opportunity to see ancient dinosaur tracks. With the return of the rains, the river once again filled with water and hid the animal prints from view. The Shalmala River flows in the Indian state of Karnataka, near the town of Sirsi. This body of water is known for hiding an amazing ancient complex called Sahasinga. Due to periodic droughts and excessive water usage, the river's water level often drops significantly, and at such times a true open-air museum with numerous ancient lingams is revealed to human eyes. Lingams are Hindu symbols representing the energy and power of the god Shiva. They are found in many temples in India, but only in this place are they gathered in such large numbers. No scholars can say for certain when exactly this complex was created, but local residents believe that the lingams appeared here during the reign of King Sirsi Sadashivaraya, who ruled the Vijayanagara Empire from 1678 to 1718. It is believed that the king ordered the creation of this complex in the hope that the god Shiva would finally grant him an heir. Thousands of lingams lie hidden in the waters of the Shalmala River, telling various stories as evidence of Shiva's existence, including the story of how the deity resolved a dispute between Brahma and Vishnu. Every year during the festival of Mahashivaratri, thousands of pilgrims gather here to pray and honor the god Shiva. In the 17th, 18th centuries, it was very difficult to create such detailed and precise images on stones in the water. For this reason, some conspiracy theorists believe that King Sirsi Sadashivaraya was not actually involved in their creation, and that this complex is in fact the work of extraterrestrial civilizations. Echo Park Lake is located almost in the very center of Los Angeles, in the east-central area of the city. Its history began in 1868. The reservoir was created as a source of drinking water, and today it serves as a catch basin in the storm drain system. The lake is surrounded by a picturesque park, which was established in 1892. On the territory of the park, you can visit the Chavez Ravine Arboretum, which features more than 100 types of trees from around the world, including the oldest specimens of Cape chestnut and Corey trees in the United States. That is why Echo Park is a popular recreational spot for local residents. In 2006, it was determined that the lake did not meet environmental standards, so the state authorities created a program for cleaning the reservoir. In 2011, large-scale work began to clean the lake. Echo Park Lake was completely drained, and it turned out to be a real museum of human waste. Old car tires, pieces of furniture, clothing, toys, and countless plastic bottles were found on its bottom. After thorough cleaning, the reservoir was filled with fresh water. The territory was landscaped, and it was reopened to visitors. City officials announced that the lake had become incredibly clean and that it was now a new ecological landmark of Los Angeles. However, just a few years later, everything changed. In 2019, a homeless encampment began to appear on the shores of the lake, which negatively affected the environmental health of the area. In 2021, the park was closed for repairs and cleaning of the reservoir. During these operations, more than 200 tents were removed from the lake's shore. The lake was drained again, but compared to 2011, it turned out to be even more polluted. In total, about 35 tons of garbage were collected during the cleanup and improvement of Echo Park, including more than 320 kilograms of biological waste. Unfortunately, the history of this reservoir proves that no government initiatives can make a public recreation area environmentally clean until people themselves start cleaning up after themselves. In 2023, archaeologists from University College London and Peking University made an impressive discovery near the city of Joku, on the territory of the ancient settlement of Pingliangtai. They discovered a ceramic drainage system that is more than 4,000 years old. Amazingly, this settlement was not an ancient metropolis. Its population did not exceed 500 people. Moreover, in Pingliangtai, all houses had a similar design, and the study of burials did not reveal significant differences among its inhabitants. This means that there was no social hierarchy in the settlement. Nevertheless, the ancient craftsmen of Pingliangtai managed to create a well-thought-out system of ceramic pipes of uniform size. The pipes had a diameter of 20 to 30 centimeters and a length of 30 to 40 centimeters. All of them were very precisely fitted together, allowing for the effective transport of water over long distances. An interesting aspect of this find is that such a complex engineering structure was built without centralized management. The ancient residents of Pingliangtai were able to plan and create an efficient water management system using only primitive tools and by combining the efforts of the entire community. This drainage system not only provided people with water, but also protected them from destructive summer monsoons, which could have led to the flooding of the village itself and the surrounding territories. Tempe Town Lake is an artificial reservoir located in the city of Tempe, Arizona. In 2010, a serious incident occurred at the lake. Part of the reservoir's western dam suddenly collapsed. Water rushed into the Salt River at a rate of up to 420 cubic meters per second, leading to the rapid draining of the lake. By the next morning, Tempe Town Lake had lost about 3/4 of its normal water volume. In some places, the depth was less than 1 meter, whereas before the incident, the average depth of the reservoir exceeded 5 meters. The draining of the lake revealed a huge amount of debris that had previously been hidden underwater. There was an incredible amount of trash. In addition, many fish died during the drainage, attracting large numbers of birds and causing a terrible smell in the area. This was an unpleasant surprise for local residents, as the lake was a popular recreational area with developed infrastructure. The reservoir often hosts sailing competitions, offers boat rental services, and is adjacent to Tempe Beach Park and a 5,000-seat amphitheater. To restore the lake, city authorities ordered a new section of the dam, which was delivered by mid-August. A temporary cofferdam was built, allowing the lake to be refilled. Water for refilling came from Roosevelt Lake via the Salt River Reservoir system. 2 weeks after the incident, the lake was refilled and reopened. As early as the beginning of the 20th century, in the central part of Argentina, there was a saltwater lake called Epiquen, which had long been considered medicinal by indigenous peoples. Interest in this reservoir also arose among tourists who came to this place to cure various diseases. It is quite possible that the lake truly had healing properties, as scientific research showed that the salt level in this body of water exceeded that of the Atlantic Ocean by dozens of times. Such a massive influx of tourists could not fail to please the Argentine authorities, and so, in the early 20th century, a resort was founded on the shores of the lake, with new railway lines leading to it from 3 directions. The resort developed very rapidly, and it probably would have existed to this day if not for the construction of a freshwater reservoir. During the construction of the dam, many mistakes were made. The town of Lago Epiquen was periodically flooded, but in 1985, during heavy rains, the dam broke and the town was completely submerged. Lago Epiquen remained underwater until the early 2000s. Then the water gradually began to recede. Now this ghost town is on dry land, showing what consequences negligence in the construction of large facilities can lead to. Castaic Lake is located in the Santa Ana Mountains in Southern California. This reservoir is a popular spot among local fishermen. In 2014, due to intense heat and drought, the lake became severely shallow, but this did not stop a local fisherman named Jay Poor, who had an unusual incident. One summer day, Poor went to the shallow Castaic Lake. At some point, he noticed a bag at the bottom of the reservoir. At first, the man thought it was just trash, but when he pulled the bag out of the water and opened it, he was shocked by its contents. Inside there was a pistol, a badge, and other personal items belonging to an ATF officer. The fisherman decided to find the sheriff to whom these items belonged. The ATF agent, whose name was not disclosed, told Jay the details of how he had lost this backpack. According to the sheriff, it all happened in 1992 when he went to the lake with a friend to fish. He decided not to leave his important belongings in the car and put them in a backpack he took with him. When the men were far from the shore, their boat capsized. Thus, the sheriff's backpack ended up underwater. The police officer did not expect that 12 years later, his belongings would be found and returned to him. This photo was posted on an internet forum in 2019. The author of the post was trying to find out what 2 strange creatures were discovered at the bottom of a drained canal. It should be noted that these pink creatures did indeed look unusual, and the outlines of their bodies appeared completely alien to Earth's fauna. The mysterious photo gained thousands of views and comments, where people shared their guesses about the discovered creatures. Most people considered the theory that they could be aliens. This is not surprising, as these creatures did not resemble any known animal. However, among those who saw the photo were also biologists. They suggested that the strange creatures were actually bloated carcasses of animals that had fallen into the canal. As a result of prolonged exposure to water, their tissues had swollen and changed their original appearance, creating the illusion of something supernatural. The Pool of Siloam was built during the reign of King Hezekiah in the 8th century BC and was located in the city of David, southeast of the old city of Jerusalem. The ancient Jews used it as a ritual pool and possibly sometimes for swimming. The famous Siloam tunnel led to the pool, bringing water from the Gihon spring. It was in this tunnel that archaeologists made a stunning discovery in 2019. They managed to uncover the ancient Pilgrims Road. The ancient Pilgrims Road is a limestone paved road connecting the Pool of Siloam and the Temple Mount. The road is 600 meters long and 8 meters wide. More than 10,000 tons of stone were used in its construction. Historians believe that the road was built at the initiative of Pontius Pilate, the governor of Judea, during the lifetime of Jesus Christ. This route was used by millions of pilgrims during major Jewish holidays. Currently, the ancient road is located 5 meters beneath modern buildings in the Silwan neighborhood. The road is in excellent condition despite its age and is a very important historical site connected with Christianity. The Elbe River originates in the Czech Republic on the slopes of the Krkonoše mountain range and flows through Germany, emptying into the North Sea near the town of Cuxhaven. Its total length is 1 kilometers. In 2018, during a severe drought, the river reached a catastrophic state. The water level dropped to a critical 48 centimeters. It was then that coastal residents witnessed an unusual phenomenon. River stones with inscriptions from various periods emerged from the water. These stones are known as hunger stones. They earned their name for a reason. In the Middle Ages, the frequency of rainfall determined the amount of harvest, and the lack of rain foretold hard times of hunger. For several centuries, hunger stones served as warning signs about upcoming disasters. Inscriptions and dates of past droughts, which led to crop failures and famine, were carved onto them. Perhaps the most famous and ominous stone found in the Elbe is the one bearing the inscription, "If you see me, weep." In addition to this text, it also bears dates from the 15th to the 19th centuries. This means that marking this stone became a tradition during periods of drought. Of course, in the modern world, people are much less afraid of a lack of rain than in the past. But nevertheless, these stones are important evidence of how much human life depends on nature. The San Antonio River flows in the southern part of the U.S. state of Texas. It originates from an underground lake in arid steppes and flows into the Guadalupe River. The total length of the river is 386 kilometers. The San Antonio River flows through the city of the same name. Since the 1980s, the authorities of San Antonio have periodically carried out cleaning operations at the river's mouth. This process takes about 2 weeks. Regular river cleaning is necessary to help preserve the river's ecology and prevent pollution. The latest cleaning of the San Antonio River took place in 2024. During this operation, a large amount of various debris was collected from the riverbed. This is not surprising, since San Antonio is the second largest city in the state, and many people walk along the river's embankments. In addition to debris, more than 2,000 snails were also found in the dried-out part of the river. These snails belong to the species of giant invasive apple snails. These animals are dangerous pests to the reservoir's ecosystem. The snails can grow to the size of a baseball. This species harms aquatic vegetation and can be carriers of viruses, some of which are transmissible to humans. The snails reproduce actively, laying between 500 to 1,000 eggs weekly. Experts suggest that the snails appeared in the river after some people released them into the wild, as this species is most often kept in aquariums. The Irish Stonehenge was discovered in 2018 when British photographer Anthony Murphy was filming a documentary about Ireland. During his filming, he often used a drone equipped with a high-quality camera. Thanks to the drone, he was able to spot an amazing and unusual feature on the territory of a dried-out farmer's field. Murphy was astonished by what he saw. In the footage, he noticed a perfectly even circle. He told archaeologists about his discovery, and they also became interested in the area. It's hard to believe, but it turned out that the photographer had managed to find the ruins of an ancient structure hidden from view, about 150 meters in diameter. Because the structure had a circular shape and was made of megaliths, it was immediately dubbed the Irish Stonehenge. Although this discovery is not related to bodies of water, it was found thanks to abnormal heat and a severe drought. Under the intense heat, most of the grass on the field burned out, and what remained in the shade revealed the outline of the ancient structure. Its boundaries were visible only from a bird's-eye view and would hardly have been noticed from the ground. Now, scientists are studying the discovered site and hope that it will help uncover the true purpose of Stonehenge, located in England's Wiltshire County. Lake Buchanan, located near the town of Burnett in Texas, is an artificial reservoir created as a result of the construction of the Buchanan Dam. The history of the lake began in 1931 when work on building the dam started. Due to financial difficulties during the Great Depression, work on the project was suspended. Despite all hardships, construction resumed in 1935 and continued for another 3 years. The dam was supposed to supply water to many settlements in the region, which sounded very attractive, but not for the town of Bluffton, which was flooded when the project was put into operation. The town's residents found themselves in a hopeless situation even during the early stages of construction. All of them had to leave their homes and move to a new location where the settlement was relocated. In 1939, Bluffton was completely submerged under the waters of the artificial lake. Modern residents of the town might never have remembered the sunken part of the city if not for the severe drought that struck Texas in 2011. The change in air temperature led to the shallowing of Lake Buchanan, but the most amazing thing happened when the water began to recede. An entire town appeared on the surface, and it was the submerged part of Bluffton. People were able to see the foundations of a 2-story hotel, a cotton factory, residential houses, and a slab with the date 1882. When the lake refilled after the drought, the sunken part of Bluffton once again disappeared from human view. Paris is renowned for its elegance and cleanliness. Narrow streets, elegant cafes, and well-kept parks all create the image of a perfectly clean city. However, a recent event involving the Saint-Martin Canal revealed a different side of the French capital. The Saint-Martin Canal was built in the early 19th century to supply water to Parisian canals and facilitate navigation on the Seine River. Today, the area along the canal is a very densely populated area and popular among tourists. In 2016, workers began the scheduled drainage of the Saint-Martin Canal. It is worth noting that this operation had not been carried out for over 15 years. What they found at the bottom of the canal shocked everyone. The entire bottom of the Saint-Martin was covered with a huge layer of trash. The scale of pollution turned out to be catastrophic. In total, more than 50 tons of garbage were collected. Old bicycles, furniture, bags, plastic bottles, and much more. Local residents believe that the reason for such pollution of the canal is the bustling nightlife in the area. Of course, to solve this problem, city authorities should conduct scheduled cleanups much more frequently, and people should not forget that the canal is not a place for dumping garbage. In 2022, a rather frightening incident occurred in one of the lakes in Cass County. A local resident, while swimming in the lake, discovered 2 cars at the bottom of the reservoir. He decided that this find should be immediately reported to the police. The police, who arrived at the scene, began the search operation with particular concern. Initially, they thought that there might be bodies in the cars. This fear was not unfounded, since in 2013 in Foss County, 2 sunken cars had been found containing the bodies of 6 people. Fortunately, this time, there was no tragedy. No people or belongings were found in the discovered vehicles. The police tried to identify the owners of the cars to find out how they ended up at the bottom of the lake, but the license plates had been removed from both vehicles and the stolen vehicle database contained no records matching the models. For this reason, how the cars ended up in the lake remains a mystery. The Valdecañas Reservoir is located in the Spanish province of Cáceres. This artificial reservoir is known for hiding a unique historical monument under its waters, the Dolmen of Guadalperol. The Dolmen of Guadalperol is a unique ancient structure often compared to England's Stonehenge. Because of its similar form and type of construction, the Spanish Stonehenge consists of a composition of 150 granite stones, neatly arranged in a circle with a diameter of 5 meters. Inside the dolmen is a 21-meter-long corridor nearly 1.5 meters wide, leading deep into this ancient structure. The dolmen was first discovered in 1926 by archaeologist Hugo Obermeier. It is about 5,000 years old, roughly the same age as Stonehenge. The exact purpose of the structure remains a mystery, but historians speculate it might have been used for rituals, burials, or astronomical observations. Despite the significance of this historical monument, it was submerged in 1963 during the construction of the Valdecañas Reservoir. For a long time, the Dolmen of Guadalperol remained hidden underwater, but during the drought of '2, when the reservoir's water level dropped significantly, the historical monument once again appeared on the surface. The reappearance of the Spanish Stonehenge became a real event. Thousands of tourists from around the world came specially to see the ancient structure. Lake Mead is the largest reservoir in the United States. It is located on the Colorado River, 48 kilometers from Las Vegas, and was formed as a result of the construction of the Hoover Dam. The total area of the lake exceeds 640 square kilometers. In 2022, during a severe drought, the water level in the reservoirs dropped to a critical point. The lake was only 27% full. It was during this shallowing that shocking discoveries were made in Lake Mead. The first discovery was made by sisters Lynette and Lindsay Melvin. While kayaking, they found human remains. They immediately reported their find to the police. After analysis, the remains were identified. The deceased was 42-year-old Thomas Arendt, who drowned in the reservoir in August 2002 while vacationing with his family. A month later, a married couple vacationing on the shore of the lake discovered a metal barrel containing the remains of an unknown man and his clothing. It was not possible to identify him. After the discovery of these remains, human bones began to appear on the dried-up bottom of Lake Mead almost every month. On July 25, 2022, the third set of human remains was found, which also could not be identified. In early August 2022, the fourth set was found on Swim Beach in Nevada, the fifth in mid-August, and the sixth in October of the same year. These discoveries seem frightening, but given the size of the reservoir, such a number of deaths in its waters is no longer shocking. And that's all I have for now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon. Your activity is the best reward for me. Thank you for your attention. See you soon. Bye.